Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, good evening. And I sincerely extend my thanks to Dr. Sai because, Dr. Sai has really been a catalyst for taking our industry. When I say our industry, it is UPS and solar, from a very tiny stage to a great extent. So I always mention this in every UPS day. And certainly, we congratulate Dr. Sai for his event being organized today, and we appreciate his time and energy for the last 26 years for managing soft disk in a very nice manner, and for conducting the event for the 24th year, also conducting the event of 11th year solar come UPS come solar day. So it's all actually Dr. Sai's dedication. Dr. Sai and his team is certainly doing great job for the industry. So coming to the subject on GST for solar, I think it's going to be the minimum percentage. Like Sriram mentioned, it's expected to be minimum percentage with regards to the percentage of the goods and services tax. But the complexity presently, if you look at, when we do solar implementation, it goes through a construction process. There is a sales element involved. Sales of PV modules that are when we import zero duty, and then when we manufacture ED exempted. And then when you do a power generating system, the ED is zero at this time, and but still, a lot of understanding, lot of gap between the manufacturer, the assessing officers, and the, when you go for complete your yearly assessment, there are a lot of anomalies and things. But, as all of you have voiced, it's going to be a great thing for us. It simplifies the multi-level taxation. If you look at, as a citizen in India, if you are involved in manufacturing, that is, you are importing goods, you are producing locally, buying locally produced items, locally traded items, put together everything, and then conclude your business. If I'm not wrong, we are going through nearly 28 or 34 line item of taxes. That includes professional taxes being paid for our employees. I'm talking about direct, indirect, all put together. There are about so many line items, nearly 30 line items of taxes. It's all too much for us. For example, if you do solar implementation, there is a works contract tax involved. When we say works contract, each state has its own way of assessing it. I think all of you are going through that. They simply take your total contract value and they 70-30, and 30% is works, 70% is supplies. So I charge you this way. Each one takes his own weigh scale and measure the system and then apply the taxation, which is sometimes becoming unbearable. So certainly the GST regime will iron out some of those difficulties being faced by all of us. Certainly, the meaning of sales is what? If you define sales, it is exchange of product or service for a consideration. That is what is sales. So the GST is actually typically, it is coming around that. It is, goods sold and the product sold is serviced. So the GST certainly is having a complete framework around that, and it should not have too many difficulties. Like Christo pointed out, for you to move, there is a special GST. For you to sell in a particular state, there is a point of sale, and the consuming state has to take a higher bracket of sales. See, these are all problems also being faced by government. One of the commissioners, a family friend of mine, called on me for a family get-together, and I'm just talking to him. There are lots of, hundreds and thousands of sales tax officials and several thousands of excise officials. How are they going to come together first? That's a very important thing. One is, okay, as industry we see what we are going to go through, but what is going to go through between them, the customs, central excise, service tax department, and then sales tax department in various areas. That is the VAT. Currently it is VAT. Again, state VAT and central VAT and things like that. So there is a lot of things. So the lower order of the works are going to be given to the VAT officials, and the higher side end or the true assessment side is going to be with the central excise. This is what is the mix of events that are going to happen among the portfolios between the government officials. And the consuming state will have a bigger share of the GST percentage. Let's say 18% for UPS, for example. So the state that is going to consume will have a bigger share, and the state that is manufacturing is going to have a lower share. This again, the manufacturing states are fighting with central for extra this. See, all this will happen. We all recall the time when VAT was implemented. There were states of the ruling party which were readily accepting. The opposition was not willing to accept VAT, but over a period, it all got implemented. The same thing will happen in GST side. But, simpler the best. Hope industry will get the best out of it. And, let's wait and see. And things should improve. Yeah, thank you.